Question 1. A helicopter initially hovering 40 feet above the ground begins to gain altitude at a rate of 21 feet per second. Which of the following functions represents the helicopter's altitude above the ground y in feet t seconds after the helicopter begins to gain altitude? So the helicopter is hovering 40 feet above the ground, and then it begins to gain altitude at the rate of 21 feet per second, right? So after t seconds, it would have gained an altitude of 21 t feet. So the total altitude of the helicopter would be 40 plus 21 t, which is B. A text messaging plan charges a flat fee of $5 per month for up to 100 text messages sent plus $0.25 for each additional text message sent that month. Which of the following graphs represents the cost of sending X texts in a month? So up to 100 text messages, there is a constant flat fee of $5. So that is what we see here, that up to 100, it's constant. And then it rises at $0.25 for each additional text message. So A looks like a good answer. Now here there is a problem because the cost is falling, so it can't be B. This is incorrect because here the cost is rising right from the first text, which is incorrect. And here the cost is falling, so that's also wrong. So the best answer is A. Jake buys a bag of popcorn at a movie theater. He eats half of the popcorn during the first 15 minutes of previews. After eating half of the popcorn, he stops eating for the next 30 minutes. Then he gradually eats the popcorn until he accidentally spills all of the remaining popcorn. Which of the following graphs could represent the situation? So he eats half of the popcorn during the first 15 minutes, right? So I want to see the graph fall to about half in the first 15 minutes. And then he stops eating for the next 30 minutes. So from 15 to 45, there should be no change in the amount of popcorn. So that seems about right, because here you have a constant value. And then he gradually eats the popcorn until he accidentally spills all the remaining popcorn. So if he spills, then the value should come to 0, right? It can't increase, so it can't be A. Okay, now here you have the popcorn getting half in the first 15 minutes, the amount of popcorn remaining stable for the next 30 minutes, and then he's gradually eating until he suddenly drops all of it, right? So this looks like a good option. Okay, here the problem is that the amount of popcorn is increasing between 45 and 90 minutes. That is not possible because he was eating the popcorn. So it's not C. And here again also the amount of popcorn is increasing at 2 places. So the best answer is option B. If 20 minus x is 15, what is the value of 3x? So 20 minus x is 15. So x is 5. So 3x is 15. For the function defined above, what is the value of f negative 1? So f negative 1 would be negative 1 plus 3 by 2, which is 2 by 2, which is 1. Which of the following is equivalent to 2x times x squared minus 3x? So 2x cube minus 6x squared. 2x cube minus 6x squared. A retail company has 50 large stores located in different areas throughout the state. A researcher for the company believes that employee job satisfaction varies greatly from store to store. Which of the following sampling methods is most appropriate to estimate the proportion of all employees of this company who are satisfied with their job? Selecting one of the 50 stores at random and then surveying each employee at that store. Selecting 10 employees from each store at random and then surveying each employee selected. surveying the 25 highest paid employees and the 25 lowest paid employees, creating a website on which employees can express their opinions, and then using the first 50 responses. So C and D we can directly eliminate because these are not random samples. And for sampling to work, the sample should be random. There should not be any algorithm or any technique used to select the sample. So therefore, it's not C and D. Now, the problem with A is that you are selecting just one store at random and you're choosing all employees from there. So this will not give you a good idea of how employees across different stores feel about their work. So B is the best answer because now you're selecting 10 employees randomly from each store. So you'll get a good sample of employees from all stores, and that will tell you how the employees feel about the company. The two graphs above show the total amounts of money that Ian and Jeremy each have deposited into their savings accounts for the first 7 weeks after opening their accounts. After they made their initial deposits, how much more did Ian deposit each week than Jeremy? So Ian deposits $100 each week because between 0 and 1, the amount goes from 100 to 200. And Jeremy deposits $50 each week, right? Because between 0 and 1, the amount goes between 300 to 350. So how much more did Ian deposit? $50. The function h is defined above. What is h5 minus h3? So h5 minus h3 will be 2 to the power 5 minus 2 cube. So 32 minus 8, which is 24. A researcher surveyed a random sample of students from a large university about how often they see movies. Using the sample data, the researcher estimated that 23% of the students in the population saw a movie at least once per month. The margin of error for this estimation is 4%. Which of the following is the most appropriate conclusion about all students at the university based on the given estimate and margin of error? It is unlikely that less than 23% of the students see a movie at least once per month. At least 23%, but no more than 25% of the students see a movie at least once per month. The researcher is between 19 and 27% sure that most students see a movie at least once per month. It is plausible that the percentage of students who see a movie at least once per month is between 19 and 27%. So it's D, right? Because 23% is what the researcher got with a margin of error of 4%. So minus 4 and plus 4 will give you 19 and 27. So between 19 and 27% of the students are likely to see a movie at least once per month. It's not about the surety of the researcher, right? That percentage does not pertain to his certainty. So D. The table above shows two lists of numbers. Which of the following is a true statement comparing list A and list B? So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here you have 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. And we have to compare the mean and the standard deviation. So the first list would have a mean of 3.5, right? And the second one will also have a mean of 3.5 because they are both symmetrical around that, right? Now it comes to standard deviation. You can see that the first list is more spread out because if I were to show it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then this has one number of each category, right? While here, the second one, if I have to show it, then 2 and 3 occurs twice, 4 occurs twice, and 5. So this is more bunched around the mean, right? Which is 3.5, while this is more spread out. So their means are the same, but the standard deviation of the first is greater than the standard deviation of the second. So means same, but standard deviations different. A book was on sale for 40% off its original price. If the sale price of the book was 18, what was the original price? So if the original price is X, then X minus 40% of X is 18. So that would be X minus 0.4X is 18. So 0.6X is 18. So X is 30. So 30 is the original price of the book. 3 colonies of insects were each treated with a different pesticide over an 8-week period to test the effectiveness of the 3 pesticides. Colonies A, B, and C were treated with pesticides A, B, and C respectively. Each pesticide was applied every 2 weeks to one of the 3 colonies over the 8-week period. The bar graph above shows the insect counts for each of the 3 colonies, 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8 weeks after the initial treatment. Which of the following colonies showed a decrease in size every 2 weeks after the initial treatment with pesticide? Okay, every 2 weeks. So if you look at colony A, it is showing a decrease every 2 weeks. So colony A is correct. Colony B is also showing a decrease every 2 weeks. So that is true. Colony C showed an increase after 2 weeks and then a decrease. So it's not colony C. So it will be colony A and B, 1 and 2 only. Of the following, which is closest to the ratio of the total number of insects in all 3 colonies in week 8 to the total number of insects at the time of initial treatment? Okay, so for this, it would be 20, 10, and 50. So that's 80 total in week 8. And here it's 80. And then I can take 120. This is little over 60 and this is little under 60. So I can take 120. So this is 200. So the ratio would be 80 to 200. So 2 to 5A. A right circular cone has a volume of 24 pi cubic inches. If the height of the cone is 2, what is the radius of the base of the cone? So volume of a cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. So 24 pi is 1 by 3 pi r squared times 2. So pi and pi cancels, 2 multiplies into 12. So r square is 36, so radius is 6. In 2015, the populations of city X and city Y were equal. From 2010 to 2015, the population of city X increased by 20% and the population of city Y decreased by 10%. If the population of city X was 120,000 in 2010, what was the population of city Y in 2010? Okay, so if X is the population of city X in 2010 and Y is the population of city Y in 2010, then in 2015, the population of X would be 1.2X because it increased by 20%. And the population of Y would be 0.9Y because it decreased by 10%. And those two are equal because in 2005, their populations are equal. So now the value of X is given as 120,000. So 1.2 times 120,000 is 0.9 times Y, where we have to find Y, the population of city Y in 2010. So 3 into 3, 3 into 4, and 340,000. So Y would be 160,000. The volume of a sphere is given by the formula. V is 4 by 3 pi r cubed, where r is the radius of the sphere. Which of the following gives the radius of the sphere in terms of the volume? So V is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 3V by 4 pi is r cube. So third root of 3V by 4 pi would be the radius. So third root of 3v by 4 pi, option D. The table above shows the results of a survey in which tablet users were asked how often they would watch video advertisements in order to access streaming content for free. Based on the table, which of the following is closest to the probability that a tablet user answered always, given that the tablet user did not answer never? Okay, so did not answer never would be these three categories: rarely, often, and always. So that's 24.3 plus 13.5 plus 30.9, right? And answered always is 30.9. So this is the answer that we want. So that would be 30.9 divided by 5 and 3, 8 and 9, 17, carry 1, 4 and 1, 5 and 3, 8, 2 and 1, 3 and 3, 6. So 30.9 by 68.7. Let's plug that in. So that comes to 0.45, option C. In the equation above, A is a constant. The graph of the equation in the xy plane is a parabola. Which of the following is true about the parabola? So we have to find its minimum or maximum, and the coordinates are given. So this is the vertex form of the parabola. The vertex form is a times x minus h whole squared plus k, where h comma k is the vertex. So here the vertex would be 3 comma a. Now, when a is negative, because here a is minus 1, the parabola opens downward. And so the vertex, which is 3 comma a, would be the maximum point of the parabola, right? Because the parabola doesn't go above that. So its maximum occurs at 3 comma a, option D. The maximum value of a data set consisting of 25 positive integers is 84. A new data set consisting of 26 positive integers is created by including 96 in the original data set. Which of the following measures must be 12 greater for the new data set than for the original data set? So this would be the range, right? Because the range is the highest value minus the lowest value. So original range was 84 minus lowest value, and the new range is 96 minus the lowest value. So the range has increased by 12. So C. Clayton will mix X millimeters of a 10% by mass saline solution with Y millimeters of a 20% by mass saline solution in order to create an 18% by mass saline solution. The equation above represents this situation. If Clayton uses 100 milliliters of the 20% by mass saline solution, how many milliliters of the 10% by mass saline solution must he use? Okay, so we have been given the value of Y as 100, and we have to find the value of X. So 0.1 X plus 0.2 times 100 is 0.18 times X plus 100. So that's 0.1 X plus, this would be 20, is 0.18 X plus 18. So that means 0.08x is 2. So x is 2 divided by 0.08. So we can just plug that into the calculator, or we can solve it directly. So this would be 200 by 8. So that's 8 2s are 16, 8 into 5, so 25. The first year Eleanor organized a fundraising event. She invited 30 people. For each of the next 5 years, she invited double the number of people she had invited the previous year. If Fn is the number of people invited to the fundraiser n years after Eleanor began organizing the event, which of the following describes the function f? So it's increasing, right? It's increasing exponentially because it's doubling every year. So 30, 60, 120, 240, and so on. So this is an increasing exponential function. Some values of x and their corresponding values of y are shown in the table above, where a is a constant. If there is a linear relationship between x and y, which of the following equations represents that relationship? So we can use y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope and c is the y-intercept. So we can find the slope using this and this. So minus a minus 0 by 3a minus a. So minus a by 2a. So that's minus half, right? So the slope is negative half. So I can write y is negative half x plus c. And then I can use this point to find the value of c. So when y is 0, x is a. So when y is 0 minus a by 2 plus c, so c is a by 2. So my equation becomes, let me write here, y is minus half x plus a by 2. So 2y is minus x plus a. So x plus 2y is a, which is option A. The scatter plot above shows the number of registered voters X and the number of people who voted in the last election Y for 7 districts in a town. A line of best fit for the data is also shown. Which of the following could be the equation of the line of best fit? Okay, so you can work with these 2 points to find the slope. So you can see that it is 120, 60 and 160, 80. So in fact, since there is no y-intercept, we can see that the y value is half of the x value in both cases. So y is 0.5x. The system of equations above is graphed in the xy plane. What is the x coordinate of the intersection point of this system? Okay, so we need to find the x coordinate. So let's eliminate y. So I'll multiply this equation by 3. So I will get 4.8x plus 1.5y is negative 3.9. And then I'll add this equation and this equation. So I'll get 7.2x is minus 3.6. So x is minus 3.6 by 7.2, which is minus half. So minus 0.5 is the value of x. Keith modeled the growth over several hundred years of a tree population by estimating the number of the tree's pollen grains per square centimeter that were deposited each year within layers of a lake sediment. He estimated that there were 310 pollen grains per square centimeter the first year the grains were deposited, with a 1% annual increase in the number of grains per square centimeter thereafter. Which of the following functions models PT, the number of pollen grains per square centimeter, T years after the first year the grains were deposited? So this is an exponential function. We use the formula A is P times growth factor to the power T, where P is the initial value, which is 310, and growth factor is 1 plus R over 100. So that's 1 plus 1%. So that's 1.01. So the final value PT will be 310 times 1.01 to the power T, option D. Based on the equation above, what is the value of 3x minus 2? Okay, so we have 2 by 3 times 9x minus 6 minus 4 is 9x minus 6. So if I take 2 by 3, 9x minus 6 to the right-hand side, I'll get 1 by 3 times 9x minus 6 is negative 4. And 1 by 3, 9x minus 6 is 3x minus 2. So 3x minus 2 is negative 4. The function f defined above, if k is a positive integer, which of the following could represent the graph of y is equal to fx in the xy plane? So here the x-intercepts would be minus 3 and k is positive. So here -3 is an x-intercept and 2 is an x-intercept. So this is possible. But we should also realize that the leading coefficient is positive. It's +1. So the graph must open upward. So it can't be A and B. It has to be one of C and D. Now C, the x-intercept is -2 and 3. So that's not correct because I need my negative x-intercept to be -3 and the positive x-intercept can be any value. So D is the answer. The formula above can be used to approximate the height h in inches of an adult male based on the length of his femur. What is the meaning of 1.88 in this context? So this is the slope of the line. So which means that for every increase of 1 inch in the length of the femur, the height of the male would increase by 1.88 inches, right? So this is the approximate femur length. No, so it's not approximate femur length. The approximate increase in a man's femur length, no. The approximate increase in a man's femur length, no. The approximate increase in a man's height for each 1 inch increase in his femur length, right? Because M is delta Y over delta X. So it is the increase in the Y value, man's height, for each unit increase in the X value, which is the length of the femur. So D. In quadrilateral ABCD above, AD is, this should be parallel. AD is parallel to BC and CD is half AB. What is the measure of angle B? Okay, so if these two are parallel, then this is also 90 degrees and CD is half AB. So if I drop a perpendicular from here, then this becomes a rectangle. So let's say this is BM. So BM will be equal to CD and that will be equal to half AB. Now, if BM is half AB and if this angle is theta, then I can say that sine theta will be 1/2 because sine theta will be perpendicular over hypotenuse and we know that BM is half AB. And if sine theta is 1/2, then theta has to be 30 degrees because sine of 30 is half. So angle A is 30. That means this angle has to be 60 because this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. And this is perpendicular. So angle B will be 90 plus 60, which is 150. Okay, Lynn has $8 to spend on apples and oranges. Apples cost $0.65 each and oranges cost $0.75 each. If there is no tax on this purchase and she buys 5 apples, what is the maximum number of whole oranges she can buy? Okay, so if she buys 5 apples, she spends 0.65 into 5, which is how much? 5 into 5, 25, carry 2, 32. So 3.25 is what she has spent on apples. So she's left with 8 minus 3.25. So that's 0.75 and 4.75. And oranges are 0.75. So 4.75 by 0.75. Let's plug that in. 4.75 divided by 0.75. So 6.33. So the number of whole oranges she can buy is 6. In the triangle above, A is 34. What is the value of B plus C? So A plus B plus C is 180 degrees because angles in a triangle sum to 180. So if A is 34, then B plus C is 180 minus 34, which is 146. If the mean of the 5 numbers above is 1600, what is the value of X? So mean would be the sum of these numbers divided by 5. So that would be 12 plus 7, 19. 19 and 16 is 35, 55. So 5500 plus X would be 1600 into 5, which is 8000. So X would be 2500. The relationship between X and Y can be written as Y is equal to mx, where m is a constant. If Y is 17 when X is A, what is the value of Y when X is 2A? So if Y is 17 when X is A, then when X is 2A, Y will also double. So 34. In the equation above, A and B are constants. If the equation has infinitely many solutions for X, what is the value of B? So I can say AX plus AB is 4X plus 10. And when the equation has infinitely many solutions, the coefficients of X are equal and the constant terms are equal. So A has to be 4 and AB has to be 10, which means that 4B has to be 10. So B is 10 by 4, 2.5. So the value of B is 2.5. In the xy plane, a line that has the equation y equal to c for some constant c intersects a parabola at exactly 1 point. If the parabola has the equation y is equal to negative x square plus 5x, what is the value of c? Okay, so y is negative x square plus 5x. So if I take negative x outside, I get x minus 5. So the x-intercepts are 0 and 5, and the leading coefficient is negative. So this will look like this, right? Where this is 0 and this is 5. Now, y is equal to c is a horizontal line. And if it meets the parabola at 1 point only, then that means that it passes through the vertex, right? Because if it was lower, it would have to pass through 2 points. And if it was above, it would not meet the parabola. So y is equal to c would mean that c is the y coordinate of the vertex. So how do I find the y coordinate of the vertex? I know that the x coordinate of the vertex is 2.5 because the x coordinate of the vertex is the midpoint of the x-intercepts. And to find the y coordinate, I can simply put x equal to 2.5 in the equation of the parabola. So y will be minus 2.5 into 2.5 minus 5, which is minus 2.5 times minus 2.5. So 6.25. So the value of C would be 6.25. The Peregrine Falcon can reach speeds of up to 200 miles per hour while diving to catch prey, making it the fastest animal on the planet when in a dive. What is a peregrine falcon's maximum speed while diving to catch prey in feet per second? So the maximum speed is 200 miles per hour. So we have to convert that to feet per second. 1 mile is 5280 feet. So that will be 200 times 5280 feet. And per hour, so that would be divided by 3600 because 1 hour is 3600 seconds. So let's plug that in. 200 times 5280 divided by 3600. So that comes to 293.33, and we have to round the answer to the nearest whole number. So 293. If a peregrine falcon dove at its maximum speed for half a mile to catch prey, how many seconds would the dive take? Okay, so maximum speed is 200 miles per hour. So the time is distance over speed. So half a mile divided by 200. So 1 by 400 hours. And seconds would be 3600 by 400. So that's 9 seconds. Okay, let's grade this. Question 1. B, A, B, double C, D, B, A, B, C, C, D. Number 7, B, C, C, D, A, C, C, B, C, C, D, A, C, C. 14, A, B, C, D, C, D, A, B, C, D, C, D. Okay. 20, C, B, D, A, B, A, C, B, D, A, B, A. 26, D, A, D, D, A, T, A, D, D, A. Okay. 31, 6, 1, 4, 6, 2500, 6, 1, 4, 6, 2500, 34, 34, 2.5, 6.25, 34, 2.5, 6.25, 293 and 9. 293 and 9. Okay, great. So we got all correct.